Hey, we're about to rob this bank here. Ever since they defunded the police here, this city is a mess. Which is great, because we're criminals. Yet this massive fucking bank is still here. I couldn't believe it. If you watch until the end, we'll save a few gold bars for you. Gotta go now. I'll see you after. Game 1 of 100 of dropping to Crime City. I was excited for this, even though I expected it to not go too great, since Crime City is the hottest drop in Season 2, and I haven't played Chapter 6 pretty much at all until now. Despite that, and my very open hatred towards this chapter, I've decided Crime City would be a cool place to drop to. And it was a great decision, but you're gonna have to keep watching for that. This season really caught my interest, so I read about all the new stuff, the vaults, thermite, black markets, dill coins beforehand. I didn't just start playing with no clue. But you can see learning and reading can never make up for experience, because I didn't go to the black market next door this time. I drove to the one at Magic Mosses instead and literally got scammed. I bought a golden collateral when there was a mythic one literally on the other side of that stand. Well, let's just cut this short then. I died to fall damage in the top 2, so I embarrassed myself twice that game. Game 3, I did really well in Crime City, and this time decided to go to the third black market where there was just nothing. I got jumped and somehow miraculously survived, and realized I'm an idiot and should have been going to the one next to Crime City. Despite that, I still made it very far again and got killed in a very stacked top 4. Games 4 and 5, I both got a couple kills, then eventually died. This season's new boss, Fletcher Kane, has an equal chance to spawn at all 5 vaults each game. His medallion makes you sprint quicker, and he drops a mythic mammoth pistol, which I'm glad is in the loot pool this season, because I haven't played with it yet, and I only heard praise for it. This game I used my shady cryptocurrency to loot up amazingly, but only made it to the top 9, where I ran out of mats in a fight, and that's pretty bad. The next 12 games definitely didn't live up to the promising start. However, I got to know the POI better, and also the weapons, most of which are still new for me. The most hilarious death was certainly game 16, where I landed on this crane in hopes of finding a chest, and then the crane got destroyed. I love how Crime City has its own somber lighting and weather. It's great atmosphere. Game 19, I left Crime City, which always means I got into the vault. I either get in or die trying, because the dill coins are just worth it. Nothing stopped me from getting scammed again though. I bought a gold sentinel pump when the mythic one was right there. This time I noticed it though, and it was also the moment I realized black markets sell the exact same stuff every single game, which I didn't assume before that for some reason. I'm a very stubborn person though, and managed to break into the Masked Meadows vault as well, and then drive back into the storm just to get my rightfully belonging mythic sentinel pump shotgun. After that, I didn't need anything else, so I got into camping until the very end, and a top 2 with this guy, who I headshotted for 156 to get my first win out of Crime City. You can notice I'm counting the wins in the top left corner this time. That was never really necessary. The average is about 4 wins per 100 drops, and my record is 6. But this time, you're in for a ride. I really like this season's battle pass, so I'm gonna be using a different skin from it every 20 games this video. Crime City is a relatively small location for its popularity, however, it is extremely dense on buildings and loot. I'm actually learning to navigate it pretty well already. I feel like I'm really getting the sense of it. Although, give any location 100 games, you'll probably end up mastering it, whether it's Dusty Depot or Crime City. Another good game's coming up, folks. In game 24, I dominated Crime City, dominated outside of Crime City. Then I got double hit by 2 mammoth pistols at the same time, which absolutely wrecked me, but I recovered. And then luck turned to me when I found the last guy one shot and got my second victory royale. In the following game, I'm in the final circle once again, this time with no kills. Crime City was surprisingly empty this game. In the top 3, out of shields and all my heals, I became bombarded by the new sticky grenade launcher, which is unbelievably annoying, but I somehow managed to completely flip the situation in my favor, and in the end, it was my own sticky grenade launcher that got me the back-to-back win. And I was actually really close to getting a 3rd consecutive, but that was just too good to be true. I had a record number of hyper successful games this time that didn't even end up a win. It was absolutely crazy and unheard of. Game 31, everything was going amazing until I got third party sniped in a fight at Magic Mosses. Game 32, I visited Lone Wolf Lair for the first time to get a second vault and Fletcher Kane, and then when Storm pulled that way, decided to return to Crime City, which was a massive mistake. Remember, you never return to Crime City. It's like coming back to your ex. Nothing good comes from it. And game 33, I got killed in the vault by Sub-Zero's gloves. I always have a problem with this collab garbage. I never know how to use it and always die to it. The key if you're in the vault is to not let the intruders inside. Once they do, it's 50-50. If we go back a moment, while making this video, I was curious, how small exactly is Crime City? So I did the measurements, and it turns out it is just slightly larger than a half of Tilted Towers. So credit to Allar's first impression. It is not a massive POI, but not all locations have to be big. I personally like Crime City for what it is. I know when we found out a POI called Crime City was coming, the majority expected a Mega City type location, but Mega City, for example, had fake buildings. None of the skyscrapers were accessible. So Crime City is just fine in my book. Also, it was chapter 4. Come on, let's not act like anything from that chapter was even remotely good. I haven't won in a while. Let's change that. I just want to make clear that's not how wins happen at all. It's a mere oversimplification of the skill, focus, and camping in bushes needed to get the win. Okay, that's stretching it a bit, but you know what I'm getting at. The final kill this game was amazing though. The sneaked in mammoth pistol shot, beautiful. I would really want to get a final kill mammoth pistol headshot. However, believe it or not, I got another win the very next game, which suddenly means I already got 5 wins, not even halfway through the games, which is crazy. Then I had a couple of really underwhelming performances after that. Kinda like middle-aged people trying to have sex, you know. Mostly just disappointment. We're officially halfway through the video now, and to celebrate that, I decided to announce it the way Joe Biden would. Look at what we were able to do in those 50 games. With the... Well, anyway, as of excuse me. And by the way, imagine what we'll do in the rest of those 100 drops. 50 more games. Pause. I don't know why I'm getting political while making jokes. It's probably because politics are one big joke in today's day and age. Those 100 drops are completely serious, however, and they have great potential to beat or even double my all-time winning record. That's why I'm trying to make every game count, and every death really upsets me. Like game 54, where we killed each other with this guy, which always feels awfully like you were the wronged one who should have survived that fight. Game 55, I snuck up onto this guy in the vault and almost killed him too, but then my mats and ammo ran out and everything crumbled apart. The next game I forced this pickle guy out of the vault, which was completely pointless because he already stole my mythic shotgun, and then just stood there carelessly and let him come back and kill me. If there's one reason I enjoyed playing those games so much, it's the lack of bots. If you've been paying attention closely, you could have noticed there's really a lot less AI players than normally. There's no bots in Crime City, and even outside, I've been meeting overwhelmingly real players. I don't know what's the reason, if I've been playing well and thus have better lobbies or something else, but I don't really care. I'm just happy it is the way it is. Of course, I still meet one of these mysterious creatures occasionally, but it's way less annoying and game disturbing than it is usually. This game I had a very good run and managed to make it to the very end for another great win. Now, game 58, I died normally, but it's game 59 I want us to pay special attention to. See, this game I made it to the top 3, and then I saw the 2 final players just chilling and running beside each other from afar. Now, at the time, I thought exactly that, but quickly convinced myself I must have seen that wrong and it was a hired NPC or something. Then one of the teamers went looking for me without his mate, and I managed to surprise attack him from behind a tree. However, when I was forced to run from Storm, not fully healed up yet, the other guy was waiting for me right where the first guy came from, and I tried my best, but I honestly just had no chance. Well, that was strange, and I guess we'll never know what really happened between those 2 players. All I know is they cost me another win, but I immediately put that behind me the next game and got my 7th win at last. The thing about Fortnite is that every season has a very unique and signature loot pool, whether it's brand new or unvaulted guns, and everyone has their own idea of a perfect loadout. For me, the undisputed go-to AR is the Collateral. You can see I'm using it literally every single game. A pretty decent second choice would be the Striker Burst, but I don't go near the Hollow Twister. I'd literally rather take a suppressed pistol or an SMG instead of that. I played all 100 games immediately after the season launch, and out of the 2 shotguns, the Sentinel pump clears massively. It just feels right. That's all I can say. And in my opinion, the Twinfire Auto is just a bad shotgun. I mean, I'd use it over no shotgun, but I'd never hesitate to not switch it for a Sentinel. In most seasons, I'd be okay with just an AR, shotgun, and heal/utility for lack of a third option, but not this season. This season, I'm always choosing between the Mammoth Pistol and the Sticky Grenade Launcher, and it's the only slot I'm really torn on. If I get to have Fletcher Kane's Mammoth Pistol, I always take that because it has 2 shots, but otherwise, it's just mostly about how I feel that particular game. As far as heals go, my perfect pair would be a full Chug Jug and 6 gold splashes, but really any heals will do. I often have 3 big pots, for example, because they're great and I just buy them at a black market. Oh, and by the way, I won this game. Back-to-back wins are a very rare thing in my 100 drops. Before this, I only ever got this achievement once, but in this video, I already did it 3 times. And guess what? That's not all. I present to you my first ever triple win. Honestly, I didn't believe I'd ever be able to do this, and if it weren't for those teamers, it would have been 4. But I know the butterfly effect, so I'm not that mad about it. If you hate me and have been furious about me winning the last few games, then you're at luck, because the games following the triple win have been very poor. The only time I was kind of close to winning was game 68, where I got completely deconstructed by this Tom Holland in the top 3. Otherwise, it was just deaths in Crime City. Or maybe I'm too overcritical, considering I already have 9 wins and it's not even close to over. Game 72, I've done amazingly in Crime City with 7 kills that I want to show you all, which is why I'm still talking even though I wanted to end the sentence at the word kills. And then made it to the final 3, where somewhere in this exact moment I became a victim of a bug and was unable to sprint anymore. You can see each time I try to sprint and the game just won't let me. I didn't find a way to get rid of it, so my only hope was to try and win even with this disability, and I failed. So the moral of that is, if you're disadvantaged in any way, just give up. Also, I was really mad after that game. That could have been another win. I know I told you never to return to Crime City, which still very much applies, unless the final circle is literally in Crime City. Then it's an advantage, because I know the area better than my Fortnite kicks. It became a top 2, I didn't give this guy a chance, and got to double-digit wins. And if it wasn't clear, the kicks bit was a joke. I think Fortnite shoes are a scam. They wouldn't have to be if they sold like 200 V-Bucks a pair, but for the prices they're at, it's a joke. Because I didn't have a way to spend my Bitcoin this game, I had the idea to drive to the Magic Mosses black market and buy a mythic collateral, which I could have been doing this whole time anyway, but better late than ever, I guess. It was a very tough end game around Lone Wolf Lair, and even though I had God's loadout, I wasn't able to come on top this time. And now we're getting to the final 20 games. I'm a pickle now. I don't know how I wanted to continue that, really. I already won a bunch, but it would be a shame not to win with Big Deal himself. So that's what I did game 83. I piece controlled this guy and edited on him. Then infinite dabbed. Died 3 times, then did it again. This time it was a deadly circle at Foxy Floodgate. I made this guy weak, broke the other guy's platform, and finished the job for my 12th victory royale today. I told you this 100 drops was gonna be brutal. You can't say you weren't warned beforehand. What do you say? I think it's time for one last win. Game 93, I landed to Crime City, which is surprising. Bopped the guy who just landed in the head with a mammoth pistol, murdered this guy at the vault and looted it, drove for the classic mythic Sentinel pump and collateral AR, even made a stop at Lone Wolf Lair for the mythic mammoth pistol, then killed the final 2 players comfortably, and got my last Crime City victory royale. Those 100 drops were absolutely amazing. I enjoyed them the most out of any so far, and I hope you did too. Now let's check back Capbigo's bank robbery. Hey, we got caught. Turns out Crime City is not the most inconspicuous place to do crime. Midas got away with the money though. I just hope he didn't go to the cabin we planned on escaping to, cause the police got a hold of our robbery plan.
Second suspect found in Magic Mosses.
Fucking idiot.